Peace, family. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Getting ready for the season and the holidays and time to spend time with family. Um, just wanted to make a video today about Eastern and Western practices and how we can develop a connection between the two. Okay, so obviously I'm a Westerner. I grew up in the West. A lot of my traits, characteristics, things and the way I live my life are Western traits. You know, but I was in meditation. Let me tell you why I'm making this video. It was from a meditation. I was in a state of meditation the other day, and I had an insight about the East and the West, and it was showing me. It was showing me how the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So pretty much when it comes basically to our spiritual systems, our customs, the way we eat, the way we live, and the way we function, it was showing me that we have to go back to the original practices in the East, And the reason I say that is because we have to ask ourselves a question at this point. Over here in the West, is longevity important for us? Is having functional communities important for us? Is having true spiritual understanding, is it something that, we're willing to engage in? And, the reason I'm thinking this and I have this insight is because a lot of the things that we do over here in the West is somewhat backwards. Now, let me say this. I'm not saying that the people in the East are better than us. And they're not we're not better than them, they're not better than us. I'm not coming in from that aspect. But what I mean by backwards is that a lot of things, so I give you an example. Sleeping in beds. Well, we all know that sleeping in the beds, it's not good for your posture. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in chairs. See, like that's not good for your posture. Stuff like that. And I have to watch how I'm sitting right now because I'm sitting on the brick. I'm not, but stuff like that. The way we eat, the way we operate, even when it comes down to some of our spiritual systems. In the East when it comes to religion, and in the West when it comes to religion. In the West we kind of have we deal in absolutes. Okay, it's our way or no way. But the East they don't do that. They just do what you do. Long as you are functional and what you believe in and what you feel can help yourself and help other people. That's all that matters. It don't matter what you think or believe in. So, longevity is important. True spiritual connection is important, and community is also important. Going back into like natural medicines. What I'm saying? Western medicine, it's wonderful. If you have a gunshot or you got a life-threatening disease or something like that, you need an immediate attention. Hey, West is the best in that. But when it comes to prevention, I would have to give it to East. I would have to give it to the East when it comes to prevention. These Eastern practices are important, because they lay a stronger foundation to what we could be capable of doing and who we could be capable of being over here in the West. It's like a balance, yin and yang. It's a perfect balance between two poles, two opposing systems, and it's not to say that we completely need to, let go of everything we do. I'm not saying that either, but we should strive for balance. You see what I'm saying? In all aspects of our life, and stuff like yoga. I'm saying practices like yoga. A lot of people think this is just physical exercise. It's just stretching. It's not regular stretching. When you're practicing yoga, what you're doing, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sadhguru. What I'm saying? He's an Indian guru, but pretty much, what he said, it's like yoga aligns your physical geometry up with the cosmic geometry. You see what I'm saying? When you're in these poses and when you're in these asanas and you're working on this pranayama, what you're doing is that, see, because your body comes from the earth, right? Your body is a part of the earth, because when your vessel leaves, the body is going to go back to where it came, and the earth is a part of the cosmos. So when you can connect with this vessel and you can master this vessel, then you have a connection to the cosmos. And when you can master this vessel, you can master everything. And then once you do that comes the practice of meditation. And when you can align body and mind together, this is what opens you up to higher information and higher access to what they call the mysteries or esoteric information. Pretty much this is information that is hidden from plain sight, but it governs the entire structure and fabric of our reality. And by getting in touch with these practices, through stuff like yoga, meditation, stuff like that, it opens us up to awarenesses that we wouldn't have never conceived or even thought of, And the reason I'm making this video and I'm talking about how we in the West should the reason why us in the West should adopt Eastern practices is because we set the tone for a lot of things going on in the world. As I was saying, somebody was saying in Africa, if you got holes in your pants, somebody cut holes in their pants in America, you're gonna find somebody in Zimbabwe or somebody in Pakistan cutting holes in their pants too. America, the West stuff over here, we set a lot of the tone for a lot of things that people adopt. You see what I'm saying? Not saying that they adopt all our practices, but they look up to us. So, in the times we in, man, all this disconnection, all of this, I don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to see people for who they are. We don't have to like everybody. I'm not saying that, but we need to see people for who they are naturally. You're a human. You're attempting to thrive just like anyone else. You have a family. You got. That's what everybody's doing. So, regardless of how a person does it, let's put all our differences to the side. And I feel like in the West, man, we could solve a lot of our problems and the problems that we're dealing with by going back and incorporating a lot of these Eastern practices. They're very important, and it's something that we should look into. So, like I said, I'm not attempting to change anybody. That's not what I'm doing. I'm only bringing awareness to something that I felt, that could benefit others. And pretty much, do what you can to connect with yourself in these days and time we're in to the best of your ability, because, as the old cliche says, you can only make the world a better place and change the world by, working on yourself. And the better you work on yourself, the more useful you can be to others around you. Peace.